We often hear the conversation surrounding neurodivergence talking about these dreadful social or sensory experiences that just grinds your gears, or it just really gets you to white knuckle clench your teeth. Well, in today's video, I'm going to try something a little bit different and talk about some of these social or sensory experiences that I find strangely pleasurable. I think it's really important to talk about, especially in congruence to neurodivergence, the joyful sensory and social experiences along with the dreadful ones, just because we want to balance ourselves out a little bit. Life isn't just about suffering. Sometimes we can enjoy ourselves, sometimes we can enjoy others, But to be for real, you guys, there's more to neurodivergence than having sensory sensitivities. There really is. Being a sensitive person to social dynamics, sensory and environmental information, yes, could be very overwhelming, very overstimulating, but I think sometimes as well, what that does for us is that it makes life a lot more exquisite. It makes life a lot more enjoyable. And that's the point to life, is to allow yourselves to tune into the things that you enjoy and how it makes you feel. But yes, I'm not going to ramble on too much about it because this concept is pretty easy to understand. Let's just get into my list. Okay, let's just start off with something very dumb and lighthearted. And it's when your sponge that you use to wash your dishes is worn out, but not too worn out. And you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys know. You know how when you first get a dish sponge, it's almost too stiff. And when you go and wash dishes, it feels like you're holding a block of wood and you're like trying to wash your dishes, but you're kind of concerned. Am I going to nick it? Am I going to scratch up my pots? What's going on here? And so you use it again and again, and then it gets worn down over time. But it's like that very specific used condition where it's pliable, right? And so it's almost like the fibers of the sponge is like more spread out. And so when you go and wash things, it's a little bit like flattened. It's more flexible. And so you could get in all the crevices, and it really does feel like you're wiping things off, right? Instead of scratching the crap out of your pots and pans. And it just feels right. It like shapes to your hand. It shapes to whatever you're washing, and it's amazing. But it doesn't last too long before it gets too worn down, and then all of a sudden you're holding like pieces of a sponge and it's never the same. And every time your sponge gets to that point, I feel like you really enjoy it, but in the back of your head you're like, this isn't gonna last long before it's gone. Like, before I know it, a month or two from now, I'm gonna be holding pieces of this sponge, and I'm gonna have to buy a new sponge, and then I'm gonna have to break it down again, and it's gonna be so stiff. Ugh, if only they sold sponges that was just in that middle condition of being worn down but not too worn down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's little things like that. I don't like washing dishes. It's a sensory nightmare. A lot of you guys relate, but having a sponge that's a little bit worn down makes it a little bit more tolerable. Okay, so this next one is scream stretching. So scream stretching. Try to say that 5 times fast. Scream stretching, scream stretching, scream stretching. Scream stretching is when you're kind of waking up from a groggy state. Your body's really stiff and you're stretching so intensely that there's this weird primal thing that gets activated in you and you just scream. And it's like so dramatic, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It feels so good. I swear nothing feels the same as a scream stretch. Like, you could stretch however you want. You could do a 1-hour yoga thing. Like, there's something about a scream stretch where oftentimes for me, it happens when you first wake up in the morning and your body just feels like you've been laying in a coffin for hours and you're kind of in pain and you're really tired. You stretch and you scream. You let out this like really loud Viking scream, right? Or this like blood curdling yell. it's almost like you're releasing the tension in your body through the scream. You guys know what I'm talking about. It feels so good. It's so satisfying. Imagine if all of our stretches could feel like that. But I mean, if that's the case, I feel like we wouldn't feel the scream stretch as good if it happened every time. I think a part of a scream stretch feeling so good is that it doesn't happen often. It happens maybe once in a blue moon or once a day, you know? But nonetheless, it feels so good. So good. If I could bottle up that feeling of a scream stretch and just drink it when I'm having a bad day, that'd be great. Or if I'm feeling emotional, but I can't really let it out and I need some help, I wish I could just, drink a little bit of that scream stretch, let some of the emotions out, and then get on with my day, Okay, so this next one is when you show someone something that you love and you get to watch their reaction. I personally really, really adore doing this because as an autistic person, I have these very specific things that I just find so much joy and delight in. I'm the type of person where I don't want to keep it to myself. I want everyone that I love to also experience the thing that brings me joy. Whether that's a TV show, a song, a restaurant, food, an experience. If I really, really love something and I've established it as like this consistent thing that brings me joy, I am gonna need my loved ones to also experience it. And a part of this is if my loved ones do not immerse themselves in that experience and delight in it, I will have my feelings hurt real bad. Like, you could call me whatever negative names you want. Like, I'll take it, but God forbid you're my loved one and I'm showing you a really amazing episode of a TV show that brought me to so much tears or like is so artistically juicy, and you're looking at your phone. My feelings will be so crushed, like so crushed. But if I am showing someone to a loved one and they're actually immersed in it and I'm watching that, this is so creepy. Trust me, I'm not that creepy, you guys. Maybe I'm side-eyeing them while they're watching. But I try not to do that because I don't want to give a moment away. I want them to actually experience the surprise like I did. But all of my feelers are towards them when they're watching something and I know something's about to happen because I'm like, I need to feel what you're feeling. I need to feel what you're feeling to see if you're feeling what I was feeling when I was feeling this for the first time. Like, that is me. If I am showing someone that I know will like this one movie, like I just know these two things are going to synthesize together and create a beautiful moment, and they're actually into the movie, and every single time something crazy happens, they're laughing, they're screaming, they're cackling, like that brings my soul so much joy. I will ride that high for the rest of the month when that happens. Like, recently, I just showed one of my best friends the movie Fresh because it's October, so it's like spooky season, And I love scary movies. I love psychological thrillers, any sort of genre of scary I love. I'm not going to give away the plot, but Fresh is a really, really good movie because it starts off like it's a normal romantic comedy or something, and then it gets spooky. It gets kind of freaky. And you guys, I've watched this movie like 20 times by now. But just watching my friend watch it and her laughing at certain scenes and like, screaming at the TV, being like, don't do that. Oh my God. I swear if that person dies, I'm going to be so upset. And inside I'm just like, yup. This is what I was looking for. This is what I wanted. Is this too much to ask for? Is this feeling right now as I'm sitting here watching my loved one enjoy something that I also love? Like, it just feels so good. I love that feeling. I love when it happens. And the same thing goes for music, food, any of that kind of stuff, because a part of that satisfying feeling is just knowing that you got your person so right. Like, you're so locked in with them that you know what they're going to enjoy. So much so that you can introduce something new to them and have them experience it for the first time. Oh, it just feels so good. It feels so good. I imagine this is probably what a lot of parents feel like when they show their kids their favorite things. Like when I see parents on TikTok showing their little kids Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time and the kids are crying and screaming. That's the same thing. Like I love that. I love that. Let me live vicariously through you, please. Okay, so this next one is when you or someone you're with tells a joke, but it's delivered in such a deadpan way that you initially miss it. It takes you 2 seconds to process what they said and you start laughing so hard. Like, I am guilty of this because I don't process verbal information very fast. So I'm that friend where if you say a joke and you say it in a deadpan way and you're waiting for my response, you can literally see my brain clicking into place where you'll say the joke and I'm just like this, like normal. And then 2 seconds later, I start cackling so hard. And the thing is, when this happens to me, I just laugh harder and harder as it sinks in more and more. So like I'll start cackling and then I'll reprocess what you just said and I'll start laughing even harder. I'm telling you, I am so compatible with people who delivers jokes in a very deadpan, very missable way because I will laugh at your joke for an hour. I will be that person where a week will pass, maybe even a month will pass, and I will still think about your joke. And it'll be like a Tuesday morning and I will text you and I'll be like, you know what? I'm still thinking about that one joke you made. I just love a good joke like that. It's so good. And it's just, it really hits me. I had one of my friends over at my apartment the other day and I was just telling her how my dog Bailey likes to eat anything you'll leave out. Like she'll eat napkins, paper towels, toilet paper. She's even eaten my socks. She's eaten my underwear. Like this dog is a freaking menace. And I was telling her this because my friend left out a used napkin on the table and my dog tried to eat it. And I was like, yeah, you can't leave anything out in this house because she'll eat it and she'll poop it out. Like she's in the middle of pooping out probably 5 different paper towels that people have left out and she just like got to it. And I was telling her about how one time my dog Bailey ate one of my favorite underwear. Like it was literally my favorite underwear. It was so cute. It was this really pretty, like light teal color. And I remember it just like disappeared and I couldn't find it anywhere. A few days later, Bailey poops out this little teal thing. And she was like, what? So your underwear wasn't already poopy before your dog ate it? For a second, it was completely silent because I was still processing what she was saying. And then as soon as it clicked in my head, I start cackling so hard. I don't think my friend expected me to laugh that hard because she said it so like deadpan, but this is part of why I love this moment so much because usually the person who says the joke in that deadpan way, they're not really looking for a really big reaction. They almost say it for themselves, like that's their humor, right? But for me, like because that's also my humor, when I start like chimpanzee laughing, you could tell it really, really, really amused the freaking heck out of me. And I could not stop laughing. I was laughing so loud and hard that the walls felt like they were like shaking. And I couldn't stop. And my friend starts laughing too because she was like, you know how it feels, right? When you make a joke and then people actually laugh. It makes you feel so good inside. And she was just feeling like really good about herself. And then we're both just laughing. And oh my God, it was so funny. I was like, bitch, you got me. You got me good. I'm so dead. Oh God, that was so funny. I'm going to text her right now, actually. And I'm going to be like, I'm still thinking about your poopy underwear joke. Okay, friends, this next one is when you are heating something up in the microwave, let's say a minute or 2. And as soon as you start that timer, you go and you do a bunch of other stuff in your kitchen. Let's say you're washing dishes. Let's say you're putting things back in the fridge or in the cabinets. And then you give yourself that time frame to finish everything you need to finish. Because ultimately, when the seconds start counting down from 10, you want to press cancel or open the microwave door right when it hits from 1 to 0, that in between of 1 and 0, where it doesn't ring yet. You get it right before it starts beeping. Oh, that's so satisfying. Oh my God. How many of you guys do this? Like, come on, you guys. Oh my God. This must be my ADHD part of my brain, because doing this is so satisfying. And I did this a lot when I worked in food industry. So I used to be a waitress. I used to be a barista. When I was a barista, especially, the coffee shop I worked in was a pour over coffee shop. So I had it down to a freaking science. I had it down to the millisecond. What I would do is I would start pouring the hot water into the thing, and then I would have a few seconds to get the coffee grind. So I would turn around, go get the coffee grinds, grind it, get it, come back, and then flip the switch on the hot water thing so it stops. And then I had to flip it right when it got to the exact amount of measurement I needed for that cup of coffee. And then I would pour the grinds into the thing, the pour over, as I was grabbing the water with my other hand. And then I would put down the empty cup that the grinds was in, and then I would, pour the water into the grinds while my free hand is now grabbing a spoon of brown sugar. It was like a whole thing. Like, that specific level of multitasking where you're in that flow state feels so good when you're neurodivergent. It's like, you know how Evan Peters played, I think his name was Quicksilver in that one X-Men movie, and there was that scene where he was like walking through the exploding school, and all those scenes where he's just moving through things so fast and everything is just like so easily. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it feels when you're locked into that flow state as a neurodivergent. And oh my God, it just feels so good. That microwave moment is just one specific example of this flow state, but obviously you could tap into it in so many other moments, like pouring coffee or whatever. So like, what is your guys' flow state moment? What is your guys' microwave moment? Because, am I right? Am I right? Like, those moments feel so good. All of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm competent. Oh, I could do something. I'm not lazy. I'm not depressed anymore. Like, if I could do all of these things within the span of 2 minutes and then get back to the microwave and open the door before the thing goes off, then you know what? I may as well write that essay I've been avoiding. I may as well file my taxes at this point. I may as well go finally donate the bag full of clothes that I've been meaning to donate at Goodwill for the past year, but it's just been sitting in my closet. I may as well go do that. I may as well go check my mailbox and go through my mail and actually see if there's important stuff I have to attend to. I'm joking. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. All right, you guys. So the last one on this list is called 𝗪ing. I got this term way back when, like years ago. There was something, I think, on Tumblr called the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. Basically, it was a page full of obscure words with very specific definitions. And I was literally enthralled by this Tumblr page because everything that this page described is something that I've experienced myself, but it was just so satisfying to have a word pair up with such a specific experience, if that makes sense. Because oftentimes I find that one word doesn't really describe the experience I have, and it's just not quite right. Like, you kind of have to string together multiple words to feel like it fits. And so when one word can kind of concisely describe a very complex, nuanced experience, it's just so satisfying. So for those of you who are not familiar with what the word 𝗪ing means, 𝗪ing, let me fix my bangs real quick, y'all. Let me get myself right. Okay. 𝗪ing is a noun, and it's the tranquil pleasure of being near a gathering, but not quite in it. It describes the state of hovering on the perimeter of a social event, such as chatting outside a party or resting in the back seat of a car while others socialize in the front. I love the feeling of 𝗪ing. As an internalized processor, as an introverted person who likes people, because that's the thing, right? I think part of being a very compassionate, sensitive person is that you have to kind of guard yourself and your sensitivities a lot. And so that kind of equates to being an introvert, because more than half the time I'm going to be on my own, because that's what it takes to take care of myself and make sure I'm okay. If I'm surrounded by people all the time, I would go insane. I wouldn't be able to handle that. But just because I spend more than half my time on my own, and I somewhat prefer that most of the time, it doesn't mean I don't like people, and I don't like being around people, and I don't like connecting with people. I actually really, really love connecting with people. And a part of being around the people that I love is that there's many times where I don't have the capacity to be immersed in connecting with them the whole time, especially when it's a group dynamic, right? I do a lot better one-on-one. Like, I'm pretty locked in when I'm with someone one-on-one. Like, we could spend a whole day together and I could keep talking to them and interacting with them, no problem. But as soon as you get a group of people, let's say I'm with family, let's say I'm with a group of friends, I very, very quickly get tired. Like, within an hour, I'm already exhausted. And so I'll find myself in group gatherings, kind of just in the outskirts of it. Let's say everyone's at the table talking. I very much so am the person that will make my way over to the bathroom, or over to the empty room that no one's in, or over to the couch that no one's sitting on. And I'll just kind of be there for however long. And when I'm there, it's like the specific feeling of going back into your own shell and becoming internal for that moment, and then hearing the white noise of your loved ones talking or laughing. And it kind of all meshes into like one sound, you know? Like, that feeling is so comforting. I don't know. It's very, again, like, oddly satisfying. And the same thing goes for, you know, when you're sitting in the back seat of the car, the windows are down and you're the only one not talking. Everyone's laughing and chatting. And then you feel the wind blow through your hair and you're listening to the music. You're listening to just the sounds of your friends interacting with each other, but you're not really a part of it, but you're just kind of floating on the outskirts of it. You know, I love that feeling, because it feels like you're a part of something without I don't know how to explain it. You're in proximity without becoming a part of it. Like, you're not enmeshed, but you're in proximity to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Tell me if you guys have experienced that before and if it's also satisfying for you. I feel like a lot of neurodivergent folks who tend to get overwhelmed with energy and social sensory stimuli, we could tend to enjoy being in proximity to a social gathering rather than constantly taking an active part of it. And that's the thing, is a lot of us don't really get access to that, because especially if you live in America, there's not really a third space. There's not really a space where you could just hang out around and be around others without having to directly interact. I feel like living in the US, you're very isolated, like you're on your own. And if you want to be around people, you have to go out of your way to reach out to someone, plan a hangout and get together. Like, there's not really a place where you could just arrive at, exist in, and you're kind of in proximity to some sort of social ecosystem. I don't know. I just wish there was more third spaces in the US or accessible to us for that very reason, because that's still getting your social needs met, you know? It's just a different way of socializing. Not everyone wants to have these conversations or back and forth interactions all the time. Not everyone wants to exert themselves or externalize their expressions all the time. Sometimes we just want to be in proximity to others, feel their energy, process their conversations, exercise those mental juices as we reflect on our own thoughts, as we process other people's thoughts. Like, that to us is oftentimes how we like to socialize. But yes, with that being said, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was something a little bit different. So if you do like this video, please let me know so I know to make more of this in the future. Anytime I could just take a little bit more of a lighthearted approach to the conversation surrounding neurodivergence, I'm going to take it, because God knows I need to get myself out of my head sometimes and give myself a little bit of a break and not feel so heavy. And take life too seriously, because I could tend to take life too seriously. Make sure you guys take some time today to eat some food, take yourself on a lovely walk. There should be plenty of crunchy leaves around you. So you better take your ass out and try to find the crunchiest leaf while on your walk. Place that leaf in front of you, and you better slowly place your foot onto that leaf and crunch down on that leaf. Do it for me, do it for yourself. You know how in Ratatouille, when he was crunching that baguette and then the rat's ears are like twitching and with all the crunchy sounds, it was like just stimming really hard. I want you to have that moment with a crunchy leaf. Please do it. You won't regret it. You really won't. I'm gonna do it today, so we gotta do it together, okay? Let's crunch on some crunchy leaves together. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Stay regulated, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.